Hi, it's me Vamp, and welcome back to the Vamp Plays podcast. Now, I'm going to be talking about mostly YouTube related stuff, so I am also going to be uploading this to one of my YouTube channels. Um, so yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. If you're listening to this, welcome to the podcast. If you are watching this on the YouTube or listening to this on the YouTube, I appreciate you checking this out. And this podcast slash video is going to be one that covers basically stuff on the YouTube, expectation versus reality. For stuff such as sponsorships, subscribers on the YouTube, and all that jazz. It won't be a real long podcast episode because of the simple fact that I really don't have too much to touch down on. I just let's get into it. Okay. So the first thing I want to mention is the sponsorship thing. I actually had a sponsorship not too long ago. And contrary to popular on my other channel, but still valid, contrary to popular belief, it's not all about your sub count. I'll be honest, for a lot of the companies that reach out to you and whatnot, it is about your reach. Your reach is everything combined, how many subscribers do you have, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that fancy stuff. And then it gets calculated and determines your reach. But for the sake of YouTube, let's narrow this down to only YouTube subscribers count as how many possible people you could reach. So let's say you have 20,000 people. Now, 20,000 people, most of the bigger companies still consider that very small. So, well, but not all hope is lost, because if your channel is a niche channel, there's always a chance that the people that like your niche channel will reach out to you. Like my sponsorship, for example, was for my Warframe channel. So what happened was Digital Extremes, the creator of Warframe, actually reached out to me. And that happened with that. And I don't even have 10,000 subscribers on that channel. So, sometimes if your channel is niche in that certain category, like the company will reach out to you about that channel directly, and you could possibly get a sponsorship through there. But yeah, typically, and I'm saying companies reach out to you specifically because here's the thing. I didn't understand this when I first began at all. It was very hard for me to even wrap my head rather, around this concept. But the fact is, companies usually reach out to you more often than you would reach out to them. Now, yeah, sure, there are some bigger companies, like there's some gaming chair companies and whatnot. They are usually like, oh, if you have over 100,000 subscribers, fill out this form, 10,000, keep growing, so on and so forth. We will get into subscriber count in the back end of this video. But for now, that is basically it. What I just said about the subscriber count. If you have super big, humongous subscriber counts, you can easily go to some of the channels. You can send emails if you want, but keep in mind that if you keep like bugging a company non-stop, you might get blacklisted from that company as well as other companies, because companies do sometimes talk to each other and there's that whole thing. So you don't want to risk that. So, you want to keep making the content and whatnot, and just don't rush it. Now, with that said, the ultimate goal for your typical YouTuber is to do sponsorship deal. You know, ad revenue, as you know, ad revenue is a big part on how YouTubers make money, but at the same time, it's not as big a part as you think. It's only a big part for smaller YouTubers. Now, at the time of making this video, I am a smaller YouTuber, and I'll probably forever be a smaller YouTuber. But, and like I said, smaller YouTubers do, rely on ad revenue a lot for this stuff. And no arguing around that. That's just a fact. But your bigger YouTubers rely on sponsorships, brand deals, and all that. Not necessarily, ad revenue. Ad revenue comes second or third even in some cases for your bigger YouTuber. That's not to put all big YouTubers in a blanket category, because there are different categories. Not all big time YouTubers get big time sponsorship deals. Some YouTubers, they're different mindsets. Some YouTubers just don't like the idea of, quote, selling out and taking sponsorship deals. Other YouTubers get pressured from their, audience to not take sponsorship videos because they'll be considered a, quote, sellout. There's a number of things there. But my advice to you, if you're just starting out on YouTube or anything, if you're a fellow content creator and stuff, my recommendation to you is do not worry about being a, quote, sellout. But at the same time, keep in mind what sponsorship deal you take, okay? If you take something that's going to get like your account banned, or something that's like illegal and could get you in quite a bit of legal trouble for even promoting, you definitely want to stay away from that. Like, I got an email, this was maybe a year ago. It was, they offered me a small amount of money to advertise this buying and selling accounts type thing for one of the games I play. And, I just ignored the email altogether, because, you might get that one-time payout, but your whole account is gone, and that's something that's typically not worth it. And B, you potentially would burn bridges with that company altogether just for a little one-time payout. which is something you don't want to do. You don't want to burn bridges, okay? Like, which brings me to another point, I guess, which is just in general when making content, okay, embargo dates are important. That embargo dates when it comes to creating content on particularly gameplay stuff and whatnot. Embargo date is like, oh, do not, publish a video about it or write a review about it before this day. Well, the thing about it is some smaller creators try to be like, oh, we can just get away with it. Then a way a company will sue us or take any legal action is just like a day early or like 5 hours early or something. Well, I do not recommend doing that. Because yes, a company might not take legal action. They probably won't if you're a smaller creator. Not because they're forgiving you or anything, but because it usually looks bad on the company to put their full force behind, taking legal action on one super small content creator. But you potentially burnt a bridge with that company for any future game from them whatsoever, and that's not something you can afford to do as a smaller content creator. You cannot afford to burn bridges with the company. The company doesn't want to deal with you anymore. They aren't obligated to deal with you. They don't have to. They can decide they don't want to deal with you anymore. So yeah, suing or whatever, yeah, you might not get in legal trouble, but burning that bridge, it's important to keep all your bridges, as many as you can get. What I mean by bridges are connections. Connections are everything. Connections are how you can possibly get stuff early, or you can be talking to someone and then joke around buddy and then, hey, I'll send you this thingamabob, connections. Connections are very, very important. And that's basically what I have to say about that. But now, more than anything, let's get on to YouTube subscriptions. Okay. So, first of all, I want to tell you guys right now, 100,000 subscribers, even 10,000 subscribers in the course of a day, 2 days, a week, a month, even in some cases a year, in most cases a year, is very unrealistic, okay? The only kind of people that can get away with that A, super well-known people such as celebrities and whatnot. B, a channel that already has like a ridiculous amount of subscribers and an already known community. They could get away with that. And then there's also the rare cases that, you have a friend or relative or whatever that has an extremely well YouTube channel or Twitch channel or something, and they shout you out, and then you get a bunch of people, subscribing to you that way on the YouTube. But yeah, those are the cases. The reason why I'm mentioning this, which I'll be honest, this is probably the main reason I wanted to record this podcast episode, which is the fact that I feel like there's a lot of stuff out there, like, a lot of channels people watching, whatnot, that are like, oh, yeah, just, subscribe to my channel. Oh, my channel, it reached in just 3 days, it reached 100,000 or 200,000 or 300,000. I just want to mention that for your typical content creator starting out, that is not very realistic at all. Would it be awesome? Yes. If you guys listening to this on my YouTube channel want to prove me wrong and get me to 100,000 subs, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But seriously, it's very, very unrealistic. Okay, I just want to mention that because I feel like that expectation is real high. I feel like I don't want everyone to be like, oh, if it's that easy to get subs, I'll just quit my job or I'll quit whatever I'm doing, be a full-time YouTuber, and I just get subs overnight. I'll get monetized, and then I will start making more and more content, and then subs. Everyone will be watching all of my videos because I have so many subs. That's so many things wrong with that right there. Let's break them down, okay? First of all, first and foremost, if you have a good source of income coming in, let's say you have no other option, you should not be looking to just throw that away unless you know for sure you're succeeding at that other thing. There are special circumstances, which are understandable. The second thing wrong with what just said is that getting subscribers instantly overnight, like I said, if you have like if you have like a friend or something that can shout you out, or you have bunches of like subscribers and stuff, and you have a channel established already and you're just making a second channel, yeah, that works as well. That's fine, that's dandy, but even then, if you get all those subs, which lead to the third thing, which is views, okay? Let's say you get enough subs. Let's say you get enough views to get monetized. Subscribers does not equal views. You could have a ridiculous amount of subscribers, but hardly no one watching your videos. And if people don't watch your videos, that means they're not watching ads. If they're not watching ads, that means you're not making money as a YouTuber. Now, with that said, if you have a large sub count, you can go to some companies, and some companies will sponsor you based on your sub count. But these days, a lot of companies tend to go by your viewer count more than your sub count. So I just want you to keep that in mind. And with that said, actually, like I said, I know I said this was going to be a shorter one, but it ended up being about around the same amount of time my normal ones are. I don't know. I didn't think I had this much to talk about. I know, and before I go, I want you guys to know that I'm not making this to try to put down any content creators or stuff. I'm a small content creator myself, okay? I will admit that, no problem. I'm in no way, shape, or form a super big mega corporation content creator. I'm just a small time vamp, content creator. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video to sort of, it's probably like because YouTube realism or something like that, but I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to make this episode to sort of hopefully guide some future content creators in the right direction, not put any one down, not dash any dreams, just set realistic goals, like I still have a channel that's trying to get 1,000 subs at the moment of making this video. It's like a personal goal of mine for the year. I started this year with like maybe 100, subs, and I'm trying to do the unrealistic thing of get 1,000. But and then there's the whole niche channel. If it was a niche channel, maybe it would do better as well, because niche channel tend to do better sometimes depending on the niche and all that stuff. And yeah, that's actually all I got. I'm going to end the episode here. I've been ranting, raving, and carrying on a lot. Hopefully, it helped you in some way, shape, or form. If you're listening to this on the YouTube side of things, feel free to leave in the comment section below something, anything. Preferably, this was good advice. This was very helpful. Vamp, you're the best, you're the best. Anything like that. But with that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.